Scorpio, the Scorpion, what's going on? I hope everyone's doing okay. Here's your reading for August 1st to the 15th, 2017. Okay, before we get started, I just wanted to remind you guys that this is a general reading, so please take what resonates and leave what doesn't. I'm going to say that one more time. This is a general reading, guys, so please take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Us readers, we read for the masses, guys. So we read for, each zodiac sign. So in your case, Scorpio, we're reading for sun, moon, and rising all together as a collective. And sometimes we even do Venus, 7th house, and of the sort. So the messages here and the energies, it's the general sense. So it applies to all the masses. Now, they're always not every single message is going to resonate or can be applied to your unique situation. That's why you must take what does and then leave what doesn't. And also, guys, make sure to check or watch your sun, moon, and rising sign, and then take the bits and pieces from each one that resonate with your situation, and then go ahead and apply it, and then leave the rest. Which brings me to my next point. If you guys would like to book a private reading, go ahead and see the description box of this video for a link there to our website. And then you can go ahead and book your reading there and we'll get started. And all the messages there will, pertain to your unique situation, and even the spreads, everything there will it's guaranteed to resonate with your situation. Okay? All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and give you your astrology for the month of August. Now, this is normally for a sun sign, but sometimes it can bleed off into a rising sign. If some of the forecasts do pertain to a rising, I'll go and let you guys know. So, Scorpio, August 2017 is a month where professional goals may prevail over domestic matters and emotional factors. Autonomy and enterprise may be necessary to obtain your targets in life. You may have to decide on your priorities and follow it with diligence. Others may not be important, and you may have the freedom to decide on your methods. In terms of career, this month there may be some slow and steady progress in your career. Saturn is in your house of career, and it may be supportive of your career targets and may add an amount of balance to your approach. This month, you may attempt to incorporate the suggestions of your seniors to further your professional development. Finances may be really good. However, this month you may have a habit of splurging money, and this may create problems with your spouse or partner, especially with the additive of Mercury retrograde this month. In terms of love, relationships, and partnerships, for coupled Scorpions, your social life may be very active this month, as you may spend a lot of time attending social gatherings, whereas you may try to expand your social circle, and in the process, problems with friendships may arise. If so, you should try and be diplomatic and attempt to maintain harmony in your friendships. For single Scorpios, this month you may find love compatibility to be complicated and intricate, whereas you may seek for perfection in love. You may be interested in pursuing affluent partners or seeking pure romance in a partner. In terms of health, health may be challenging due to professional stress and sexual desires. You can maintain your vitality through fitness, rest, and relaxation. So Scorpio, overall, August 2017 forecasts that your aggression may need to be balanced with diplomacy. Okay, let's go ahead and bless the deck, and then we'll get started. Our decks. Guardian angels of love and light, ancestors lost and known in the seas of time, please intercede into this reading to provide Scorpio with the clarity and direction as to which he or she seeks, and please grant me, the reader, the objectivity to read the cards and relay every single message as they're meant to be. All right, Scorpio, we're coming into the reading with the Brother of Earth in reverse, or the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, Scorpio. So, what I find interesting about this spread right here is that you have pretty much all the major arcana are in reverse except two. So you have the Lovers that's upright, and you also have the Chariot that's upright. And here as well, you have, let's say none. Yeah. None of the court cards are upright as well, which I find very interesting. Now, when I see this spread, it's kind of like, especially at the bottom, the Lovers is upright here. So kind of look at this as like two scenarios. What's being done in terms of behind the scenes? It seems as though like we're moving in a direction that maybe is possibly, Scorpio, causing some disconcerting feelings. I want to say it's causing you to maybe feel as though not okay. Like you're not able to maybe express your feelings as much. Not that you can't, but I feel like you're not able to. And I feel like maybe when you do express your feelings, it's maybe viewed as like maybe negative, or that it doesn't make sense to maybe other people. And I'm also, I mean, wow, this is kind of like a little difficult to kind of say, or it's a little bit like ineffable. Like I can't express it. It's like I feel like this is two people here, almost. Like watch. Hmm. What are we creating, Scorpio? And how are we planning this? It seems like, I mean, not just because they're in the center after I moved them, but I feel like this is a lot about a relationship. And it has a lot to do with like what's coming out of it. Who is, I don't want to necessarily say who's running it, but who's contributing what to the relationship. It seems like we're seeking, Scorpio. Whenever I say we, I mean you. What are we seeking? It seems like it's moving very slow. And I'm not saying, see, which is kind of a contradiction when the chariot's here. I feel like it's moving very slow on your terms. And I feel like you're the one who's yielding a lot to the situation or to the partnership, like to the point where it's like you're doing the majority of the work here. Like you're making the most concessions. You're making the most expectation, or that's not the word. You're making more of the like the yieldings. You're the one that has to kind of give in and say, "Oh, okay. Oh, okay." But when is it going to be your turn though, Scorpio? When can you say what you want? And when can maybe the other person then say, "Okay." Because it's interesting that we have the Empress here and we also have the Magician here, and they're both in reverse. So it's kind of, it goes hand in hand, like, okay, what are we planning? What are we doing? And how are we manifesting it in reverse? And when the magician is in reverse, it's also someone who speaks a lot of what they want to do or what they're going to do. And it's more of a communication more than kind of internal. And when the creation or the steps or the commencing of things or of projects, if they're very external, it's we're going to create something that maybe isn't ideal, or it's not promising. It's kind of hard for me to explain this. Okay, I feel like in this relationship, because I'm just going to say relationship, because usually I call this generalship, general and relationship. I feel it's like, okay, the brother of earth here is someone who moves extremely slow. It's the slowest night. But when he's in reverse, he moves when in reverse. The brother of earth, or the knight of pentacles, he moves extremely slow. But he's going to get there on his time. And he's not really going to take other people's expectations or wants into consideration. It's just him, and he's going to do it. Usually when the earth knights, or the father of pentacles, usually, or the king of pentacles is in reverse, even sometimes a queen, they do things kind of with like rose-colored glasses on. They see things through a certain lens, and only they are going to do it when they're ready. And it's not like I said, like they don't have or seek any kind of maybe diplomacy. So it's kind of like, how is this person making you feel? Like I said, what are we creating? I feel like we're almost at the point of carrying a burden, and yet we're not responding to it appropriately, or we feel within the situation, within this partnership, or within this box, right? Emotion can't be expressed, almost like it's looked down upon. Like people are maybe excusing your emotion, like they're saying, "Oh God, like just stop with that." Because I mean, if we look here, Mother of Earth in reverse, the Nine of Wind in reverse, or the Nine of Swords in reverse. The Nine of Swords, when it's in reverse, it can imply like not really wanting to look at a situation, kind of just looking at it like, oh well, it is what it is, so that's all that we're really gonna go with. What are we creating though? You have the Ten of Swords right down here. The Father of Earth in reverse. So not only do we have the Father of Earth in reverse here, but we also have the Brother of Earth in reverse here. So not only are we moving slowly and taking our time and not wanting to see or move faster because we want to do it the way that it's a very selfish thing whenever you see the Brother of Earth in reverse. And especially when now you have the Father of Earth in reverse. This is ignoring what we're creating. Okay, Scorpio, I feel like this is a lot of stagnation going on within the relationship. Okay. On one side here, I see, okay. Especially, okay, I want to start up at the top here, and we'll make our way down. Okay. Eight of Fire in reverse. These are things coming up that are not allowing you to possibly move forward. It seems like when you tackle one endeavor, there's another one. Then when you tackle that one, then there's another one. These are always having those bumps in the road that are just making you feel like, is it really worth it? It's almost like if it's creating a type of environment for you, like where being always let down and then feeling very, I want to say vindictive, where like you almost want to get back at someone or this person in question. They make you feel very like there's no security there. And maybe you also feel, Scorpio, I'm picking up on maybe like they don't help you in terms of moving forward and helping you tackle all of these issues. They don't, things are moving forward, Scorpio, but they're not moving forward in a favorable way, in a favorable position, or at least for you to somewhat be happy. Because then when you feel happy, the rest of, normally, the rest of the environment is happy, or your perception or how you perceive things tend to work out. But not when the Eight of Fire is in reverse. It's just constantly having to just go over things and just bump after bump, block after block after block after block. And I want to say, Scorpio, like maybe you're convincing yourself, like, okay, well, if we just get over this one hurdle, if we just get over this next one, if we just get over this next one, and I feel like it's just not working. And especially when the Magician in reverse here, it's just not realizing actually what's being created, Scorpio. Like what's coming up? Why is this happening? Maybe not wanting to go internally and actually see what's going on. And see actually how this is moving forward. I mean, look, we have the Nine of Fire upright, and we also have the Chariot upright. Normally, these two cards together, I would say, okay, you're almost there. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. You're okay. Don't lose that confidence. You already fought so many battles and you've won so many. You can keep going. But when we have these surrounding cards together, Scorpio, it's almost like as if, yeah, we're moving forward. Yeah, we're striving, but for what reason? Trying to just tackle these things, and you seem to cannot get a hold of the source of them. And I'm really feeling like with the Mother of Water here in reverse, it's almost like as if, like I said, no one's helping you. No one's, or this other person is not assisting you in this. They're making you feel like this. Also, Scorpio, I have to say this, you're allowing yourself to feel like this as well at the same time. So it's not going to be completely the other person's fault. It's never always one person's fault. Very rarely is it ever. And it's like, I'm even feeling like my thought process, everything that's coming to me is a block. Like I can get half of what it is I want to say out, and then it's just like a block. And then I'll go, okay, I think I figured out, and then a block. It's like that. Because even if we were to move over here, Scorpio, I mean, already, like I said, was saying, coming into the reading as being someone who's moving very slow. And then continuing to establish what's being slow. There's so many blockages here, Scorpio. It's like, especially the Nine of Wind here. This is specifically choosing to not look inside and actually see what's going on. Working yourself up to something that is going to just kind of crash down, but also failing to not actually see it. Failing to not go within and take a moment of time to go within and actually see it. And what's going on? What are we creating? The Empress in reverse here. We're creating something that is moving forward, Scorpio, right? But moving forward it's almost like an oxymoron, moving forward. Okay, here's the best way I can describe it. I always tell people who drive really fast, I tell them this, or I ask them this. Why are you driving so fast? Or why are you driving so fast to the point where just to stop? Like, let's say there's a stop sign. And then it's like, okay, there it goes, Scorpio. It's like speeding up to the stop sign and then stopping. Why are we speeding up just to stop? Why are we trying to put so much work into something when we know that there's a stop sign? or we can see it ahead, but yet we're failing to realize it. And when we fail to realize it, Scorpio, what's at the end? The Ten of Wands or the Ten of Swords. Getting to the point, Scorpio, where we can no longer then actually get up and then move forward, whether it's in a good or a bad direction. Because we have so many swords in our back. We've already carried so much of things that now it becomes literally physically detrimental, Scorpio, that you no longer have the vitality to actually move forward and move on with things. And like I said, it's just blockages. And also, Scorpio, going back to what I was saying about not going within to actually see where the root of things are happening and to actually come back down to earth and to see it and to grasp it and say, you know what? No. This isn't working. We're no longer moving forward. We're not moving forward. So what do we do now? When you fail to do that, Scorpio, you fail to see where things are actually coming from and how they're being planned and how they're being manifested and the negativity that it brings and the negativity of the cohesion of the negativity. And it's funny that we say come back down to earth, or that I say come back down to earth. Father of earth in reverse, brother of earth in reverse, mother of earth in reverse here. Overall, Scorpio, failing to actually see what type of stability are you creating, and even if it is stability. What are we doing here, right? And going back to the idea of what are we creating if the creation isn't even anything that's viable that we can depend upon? And my tone may be it may sound a little condescending, but I'm not. I'm just being very passionate about this right now. I feel, because I know how it is to be blocked like that and to strive for something and to want something so bad, but yet the other person doesn't want it as well, or they don't care enough. But then, Scorpio, I must ask you, why do you still care? And I know that sounds a little rough, because I'm all about having support of other people, but you can't have the support of if you're not getting the support of other people, Scorpio, like, what type of support do you have under your belt to give them then? You can only give people what they give you. And that's just reality. But I feel, Scorpio, like I said, you need to come back down and you need to see what is going on. Even this, just in the center, the Lovers, upright, great card. It can also mean having to make a decision. Maybe this is not making a decision. I mean, in conjunction with what I've been saying this entire time, but it's slow. It's not on your time, which is making you feel like this, Scorpio. I feel like this is your overall energy. I mean, given that it is water, but it's the energy that is pervading the space. It's the energy that's creating this swimming pool of issues. It's almost like a fish out of water in a sense. Flapping and flapping and flapping, but you're not getting anywhere. This is running in place, Scorpio. But why are you running if you're not moving forward with viability? Because it's only leading to this, Scorpio. And these are the clarifying cards for these two bases. Even in the bottom, the only upright card, the two upright cards are two cards that aren't necessarily favorable. So the emotions are in reverse and the stability is in reverse. What do you think that's going to create? It's all coming back to these base cards. And even in your mindset, Scorpio, I mean, you can see it as well. Not wanting to see the situation for what it really is and working yourself up to feel like this. knowing, Scorpio, that things aren't going to get necessarily better because we're moving. Look, the chariot upright, right? But everything before the movement isn't favorable. Not creating the proper stability. No, I'm sorry, not maintaining the proper stability. Because what's coming in? What's coming in, Scorpio, to add to the foundation of what this is about? And what ends up happening, Scorpio, is sometimes when we don't have that foundation, or we're upset about the foundation, we tend to move forward, but not in a great way. But then we can also become tired of it, and that's when we move or come into this space or seek, maybe try to solve it in a slow way. This is all just stagnation. But yet, I want to ask Scorpio, like, I know you guys can't literally all answer me back, but why are we still fighting? This is like a Five of Swords thing. We're fighting for a cause that isn't necessarily important. You're going to have to ask yourself, Scorpio, why is it so important if it makes you feel like this at the bottom? Why are we allowing ourselves to feel like the Ten of Swords and actually not looking at it and not actually saying, this is not working? Putting others' feelings ahead of yours. And I know that, your guys' past readings, I've been saying to see other people's feelings and to do all that. Yes, it's important, but you have to also remember, Scorpio, everything has to be maintained in moderation. Because you shouldn't put yourself in a position where you feel like you can't move forward. Because there's all these blockages that are coming and that present themselves. Like I'm saying, I can't even get my thoughts together right now. Like, to go from one point to another, it seems like I just keep getting blocked. This needs some adjustment, Scorpio. Or you may just need to walk away from this. Wow. Okay. Let's get some advice cards. It's funny. Are we missing opportunities, Scorpio? Four of water in reverse, four of fire in reverse, one of wind upright, the father of wind upright, and the star upright. Sometimes, Scorpio, when we're so focused on achieving a certain goal, we don't really see or take the time, let me say that, take the time to actually see what's going on and to check in with ourselves. Refusing to actually do that. Because there's something going on and subconsciously where it's like you just don't want to look at it. When we do that, Scorpio, we fail to transform, or we fail to put ourselves in positions where we can actually gain from them, but in a positive manner. We can sometimes miss opportunities, Scorpio, that are right there, right in our face sometimes. Even opportunities to move forward within the situation that we're in. If the planning isn't proper, if the creation isn't proper, not feeling like there's completion, not feeling confident in the completion. Because then what ends up happening, Scorpio, is just we stay in this cycle. We stay in this circle or this environment of just grave proportions. Because then, Scorpio, when we realize what this is doing to us, and when we finally realize that this slow movement is leading to issue after issue after issue after issue, but yet not wanting to move forward, not creating those proper things that we need so we can be happy and move forward with positivity. Once we do that, Scorpio, and we come to that realization and we want to walk away, needing to walk away, is when the beginning of communication happens, but it's with yourself more. Telling yourself or asking yourself so that you can then tell yourself, asking yourself, what do you need? Why am I here? Why am I doing this? What's the purpose? And if you're a Scorpio rising by any chance, Pluto is retrograde. And it's going to stay retrograde for a while. I want to say until September, August. I think, I'm not really, don't quote me on that, but I know that we are retrograde for sure. Pluto's retrograde. And then if you're a Scorpio rising, Pluto is your ruling planet. A lot of people say suns, like they're your sun sign. Like, let's say like your sun sign is Gemini. Let's just say, for instance, Mercury rules you. Yes, Mercury rules you in a sense. Your sun sign planet is what kind of rules your vitality in a sense. That was the wrong word. Kind of rules your the way that you think and the way that you put things together. But really, it's your rising sign, which is your unconscious, and how you are portrayed to the world. It's really who you are on an unconscious level, because that's really what rules us at the end of the day. I mean, that's just what it is. Physiology and psychology. Yes, so that's what I'm saying. Your rising sign is the planet that actually rules your chart. So it's what really rules you. It's like a subdivision, like you have the top, and you have like the first tier and the second tier, and then the third tier, like the primary, secondary, and then tertiary kind of thing. So Pluto does rule you if you're a Scorpio rising. It can do if you're a Scorpio sun as well, but just we won't get into all that. But it just depends. But usually, defaultly, a Scorpio rising, Pluto does rule you. So I can understand why there would be so many blockages where things won't work, and you'll feel like, I'm just going to stay here. I'm just going to stay here. I just can't move forward. Like, whatever. I don't think I can move forward by myself. Yes, you can. But then when you become honest with yourself, Scorpio, and you realize what's going on, is when the communication with yourself will actually help. That's when you then know what you want, when you check in with yourself and you don't ignore the things that need to be said or that need to be revised, need to be seen. You have the one of wind here and then the father of wind, because when you do that, right, you then can actually talk to yourself, Scorpio, and see what are you allowing in terms of communication to happen. And then positive communication comes out of it, because then you're able to create honesty within your circle. But you can't create the honesty if you don't begin to speak to yourself. Because then the vulnerability comes in, but the vulnerability with yourself. That's with being honest with yourself. Because when you're honest with yourself, then you know what you need to work on, Scorpio. You know at that point. But you don't know if you begin. Let me say that a little slower. You won't know unless you start to communicate with yourself better. Because like I said at the beginning, Scorpio, you have to know why you're choosing to continue on with such buffoonery. Why Why are you becoming, I'm going to say this, but why are you becoming part of the circus? If you entertain the clown, then you become part of the circus. Let's pull a Jesus card. Your heavenly Father knoweth that you have need of all these things. Matthew 6:32. Because God knows, Scorpio, what you need. And He'll give them to you. But you have to put the work into, Scorpio. You have to know what you need. But the only way that you can know what you need, Scorpio, is if you're honest with yourself and you actually begin to have that honesty, Scorpio, and to be vulnerable. I just remembered, guys, I forgot to mention the cards. You could be dealing with an Aquarius. And if I did, I apologize if I did it earlier. You could maybe be dealing with an earth sign, Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus. Could be dealing maybe with another water sign, possibly. Pisces, Cancer, or a Scorpio actually specifically. That's all I believe. See. But to Scorpio, when you're honest with yourself, then you know what you really want, because then you can ask Scorpio, and God will give it to you. Your higher power, the universe, whoever you confide in, will give that to you. But if you don't check in and know what you really want, you're going to be asking for the wrong things and it won't be given to you. It may be in a sense where you're going to run into issues where it's going to prove that, yeah, it will happen, but not in the way that you really want it to. These are the bumps in the road. But when you really know what you want, they'll supply it. He'll supply it. Because then what do you really know what to ask for? Like I said, Scorpio, no completion. No completion in terms of the beginning stages, almost like building like the infrastructure, building the foundation. If that can't even be built, you can't put anything on it. Everything will come crashing down. Sorry, guys. Try to go. Thou shalt love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind. Mark 12:30. Because when you do that, Scorpio, you'll know what you want. Because He'll deliver the things that you really, really, really do need once you reach that point. And that's when you'll have love, not just for God or for your higher power. But then, once you have that, you'll exude it and you'll vibrate at a higher frequency. And then you'll attract people to you with that same or better or higher. I'm sorry, that sounded weird. You'll attract people with somewhat of that same vibration. Because all things are possible. They really are, Scorpio, but you have to believe that you actually want it and that you actually need it. And that starts with being vulnerable. That starts with being honest with yourself, because you don't want to miss these types of opportunities, because they'll change your life, Scorpio. But please, I'm asking you to check in with yourself. Come on, you have to be honest with yourself. You can't lie to yourself anymore, because when you lie to yourself, Scorpio, what is it doing? What is it creating? All right. Okay, I think that concludes it for the 1st to the 15th of August. We'll see you from the 15th to the 31st, or any other random video that I put out, Scorpio. Stay strong. I know you can do it, okay? You just have to believe in yourself, and you have to put your faith. To put your faith, Scorpio, where it really should be. Not in something like this, not in something like this that has to do with stagnation. This is stagnation, Scorpio. But when you put Him, your higher power, at the center, everything will follow suit. All right, buddy. See ya.